The Pinto Horse Association was founded in 1956, and it was founded to encourage those with a passion for horses to register and honor their pedigrees. Within our organization, we pride ourselves on welcoming all types of equines. We have horse shows all over the United States each year where competitors can exhibit their horses in a variety of disciplines. Our mission is to improve, promote, and enhance the Pinto horse, pony, miniature utility, and also the long ear through good sportsmanship and horsemanship.
Bring them in on the rail at a jog, please. On the rail at a jog.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of On the Rail podcast. Today, we do have some interesting guests, and I'm super excited, and I know Jenna probably is too. Our love for color, I think, has kind of outshone some of our podcasts lately. So today, we're super excited to introduce you to the Pinto Horse Association. And before we get started, I'll kind of let them go through and introduce themselves. And if you just want to kind of give us your personal involvement with horses and then your current role within the association, and whoever wants to go first.
I guess I'll go first. I'm Darrel Bilke, the Executive Secretary and CEO of Pinto. I've been in this position going on 21 years now. So it's been a good ride. And before that, I was a horse show judge, basically for 30 years. And judged around the world, I don't know how many times, 2 or 3 times, had like 16 different judges' cards. And before that, I had a training business. So basically, I've been in the show horse world of it all my life. So it's been a great ride for us. I guess you're next, Emily.
I'm Emily Wolf. I'm the registrar, head of the registration department. Among other things, also, I'm in charge of awards, like for World Show, year-end stuff, and then I'm also in charge of vendors, the trade show at World and Congress. And I started riding when I was 12 in hunter jumper worlds, and then past 4 years I've gotten involved with minis, and now I'm showing miniature horses as my main thing. But I still do ride. I mainly do dressage.
Jenna, you're next, and we'll let Kim save us.
I am Jenna Henson. I am the Director of Marketing and Communications. So I handle all of our corporate partners, our advertising, our quarterly magazine, and also our youth program. My background is rodeo. I grew up running barrels and breakaway roping. And then I went to Oklahoma State University, where I got my degree in agricultural communications. And then upon that, in 2022, I took this position with the Pinto Horse Association.
I assume since all three of you are sitting here looking at us on Zoom, which our listeners can't see yet, but so you're all located there in Tulsa. You live in Tulsa full time?
Our offices are in Bethany.
Okay.
We're suburb of Oklahoma City. So we have both of our big event. We have the International Equine Judges Seminar that we manage with the paints, and then our convention and our World Show, and then the Color Breed Congress. We have all those events in Tulsa, but our offices are in Bethany.
Okay. That makes sense. I got that mixed up, but thank you guys for joining us today. Before we kind of get into some World Show stuff, we
got to get Kim. We forgot the World Show manager.
Oh, is she here?
Yes.
I'm just hiding.
Oh, she's hiding.
Oh, she's hiding. She's hiding. Sorry. Please, Kim, go ahead.
Showing all those bad horse show mothers after.
We have everybody. That's exciting.
My name is Kim Hall. I am the executive assistant here at Pinto, and I do manage the World Show, the Color Breed Congress, our convention, and our judges seminars that we have. As far as my starting horses, my husband and I raised and showed Appaloosa horses, and we started managing our local app shows. And then for almost 20 years now, I've worked for the Pinto Show.
Very cool. I love how you guys all have diverse backgrounds, which is very, I feel like, apropos for Pinto. All righty. Well, whoever wants to take this question, can you give us an overview of the Pinto Horse Association and kind of its mission in general?
You want to go ahead?
Yeah.
We'll let Jen. That's Jenna's. We'll let the young one have it.
So the Pinto Horse Association was founded in 1956, and it was founded to encourage those with a passion for horses to register and honor their pedigrees. Within our organization, we pride ourselves on welcoming all types of equines. We have horse shows all over the United States each year where competitors can exhibit their horses in a variety of disciplines. Our mission is to improve, promote, and enhance the Pinto horse, pony, miniature utility, and also the long ear through good sportsmanship and horsemanship.
That's a good segue into a subject of, can you briefly, whoever wants to take this again, just describe what all the Pinto Horse Association encompasses horse-wise? There's almost a spot for everybody. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Spot for everyone. We register horses by type. Our stock type is the quarters and paints, basically. Our pleasure type is the Arabs and the Morgans. We have the hunter type, which is the thoroughbreds and the warm bloods. We have the saddlebred, the 5-gated horse. Then we have utility, the little horse, the little draft horse. Then we have the 2 different heights of miniatures. Then we have the long ears. We started a registry for the mules and donkeys, so we have a long ear registry now. And then we have our ponies. We have 3 different heights of ponies. And get Emily on all the registration stuff. So chime in here, Emily, and let us know.
So that's true as well, but it's not just color horses. We do have the color registry for the, Tobianos and the Overos, but we also have the solid registry, which will mirror the color registry as far as types and the classifications. But if the horse doesn't have the required color, our solid registry is open for them to come in and have a spot, quote unquote, as well.
So is there any scenario where a horse maybe wouldn't be eligible for a Pinto registry at this point in time?
If they have any zebra breeding. The only one that's actually, joking aside, the only one we wouldn't take is a undocumented or grade horse stallion. And specifically the language is on horse. If it's a mini, a pony, utility, or a donkey for the long ears, we will register those jacks or stallions grade. But if they are a horse, we cannot take a grade stallion.
I think that's a good point to make as we go forward before we get into the World Show talk, because I think one of the highlights of the Pinto Horse Association World Show is how inclusive it is. So I just want to make sure everybody realizes that they don't have a horse that has Pinto papers. There's probably a way that said horse can get Pinto papers. And if we want to just touch on that briefly, what's just the kind of 30,000 foot view of how a horse would get registered with the Pinto Horse Association?
It's really super easy. So the owner of the horse who's going to go on the papers will just have to have a membership. And then we have a registration application for horses, minis, ponies. They all use the same application. Long ears has a different one, but it just needs to be completed and signed. I mean, they pick their type, they put the horse's name down, they sign it as the owner. If the horse has papers with another association, such as American Paint Horse, Quarter Horse, Appaloosa, Jockey Club, what have you, there's lots of different breeds we accept. They'll need to provide a copy of those papers and then 4 current color photos of the horse, full front, full back, left and right side. One of those side photos goes on the certificate. They send all that in with the appropriate fees, and then we're good to go.
Perfect. Pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Plus those horses, when they show, the stock shows together, stock hunter pretty well shows together, and then they all show within their group, mainly. We have very few classes that they all show together. Ponies and minis will show together in some classes, but the utilities show by themselves, and the long ear shows by themselves, and the saddlebreds pretty well show by themselves too. Them and the pleasure. So we pretty well try to keep the types together in the show pen.
So you're not saying there's a mini showing with a saddlebred
No.
showing. Yeah, that would be a fun class, maybe.
I hate to be driving the miniature.
Right. Alrighty. What are some of the recent developments or changes that have taken place within the organization, and how do you see these changes impacting the future of the Pinto Horse Association?
Well, I think we're blessed to start with, because basically we accept everyone, and we are a show horse family organization. So it opens a lot of doors for us where, we don't have to worry about, do we have enough color or what? But it just opens up a lot of doors, and we're able to, just like our long year group, we can go ahead and take the mules and donkeys and have shows for them and the minis. So, and we're having a lot of groups now that'll have a mini show going one day in the arena, and the stock hunter show or pleasure saddle type show going in the other arena. So we're blessed that we can mix and match and have different classes with different breeds. And then also we're approving some classes with the Appaloosa people where the Appaloosas can be registered solid in our group. And then they can go show in the Appaloosa show and then stay there the same day and then show in the Pinto solid class. The same way with pace. So we're blessed that we can mix and match with our sister organizations doing other things, giving people more places to go. And there's just so many hours in a day at the horse show. So we're blessed there. So Kim, Emily, you have anything, on that?
No, I think adding the solid classes that we've done over the last few years has really added a lot of new people to our group as well.
I think it's just by adding the solids, it's given those other people, people with non-colored horses, it gives them another option of another place to come show.
I was going to say, I was blessed to attend my first Pinto show, I think a couple weeks ago for the Ohio Pinto Club. And I went as a vendor and everyone was super friendly. It was very enjoyable to watch because there were so many different things happening and I seen different classes. So it was super intriguing to me as my first Pinto show to attend. So pretty cool.
Do you guys want to talk about some of the programs and initiatives the Pinto Horse Association offers to its members that maybe the common horse person may not know about?
We offer, in addition to offering approved shows where they can come and show and earn a point record on their horse, we also offer a recreational riding program, our On the Trail program, which is just to count your time spent with your horse outside of the show pen. So trail riding, riding in the arena, practicing, you can count your hours, and, the more hours you accumulate, the bigger and better the prizes get. Anyone that's registered and a member can sign up and utilize that program. The other program we have is the OCAP program, which stands for Open Competition and Activities. And that basically, if the person goes to a paint show or an open show, just a schooling show, they can earn OCAP points at those non-Pinto shows and have a separate point record for their horse that's different from their national points. But they can also get some points and credit showing at non-Pinto shows as well through us.
I think, personally speaking, one of the hallmarks of Pinto, and I know you guys have touched on this briefly, but is how inclusive you are. And I think the World Show goes a long ways to being very exhibitor friendly, very inclusive. I don't want to say beginner friendly, like it's not a high level competition, because it certainly is, but it's just an overwhelming, positive environment, which is somewhat lacking, I think, in a lot of our horse show space. So can you give us an overview of what attendees and participants can expect at the 2023 Pinto World Championship Show? And of course, the dates for that show, because I know that's coming up here.
The dates are June the 12th through the 24th. I would just say early mornings, long days, late nights, but an enjoyable time for most everybody.
This year, and I'll let Jenna talk a little on it, the first weekend before we start showing horses on Sunday, on Monday, on Saturday and Sunday, Jenna's got some activities going. I'll let her talk about some youth activities that we're trying to get more kids, more people that's not even involved in the horse business to come. So you have to kind of give them a little update while we're there.
Yes. So starting that Saturday, we'll kick off our youth weekend. That's how we are advertising it. And that Saturday, we will be having our first speech contest for youth. And we are also including, it's open to FFA and 4-H students. And we will be giving prizes we will have 4 different categories, and then we will be giving prizes through the top 5 winners. And then that following Sunday, we will have the horse judging contest for the youth as well. Emily will be running that. So that is our youth weekend for this year. We're super excited to get the youth more involved and just have a weekend dedicated to them.
And that's the very first weekend of the show. Was that what you guys said?
Yes,
Yes.
it will start June 10th.
And as far as like entering the speech contest or the judging contest, how does somebody go about doing that if they're interested in that?
You can go online to our website under Pinto World Championship. There will be forms for the judging contest and the speech contest as well.
And just because I'm curious, have you guys, while we're on the subject of youth, over the course of the last few years, have you seen your numbers trending up or down with your youth participation?
I think we're starting to see,
A little bit of an uptick.
I think we got a little upkick coming back now, and that's the reason we kind of jumped in on the speech contest and the judging contest, because we're hoping a lot of those kids can come and get exposed to the horse show and maybe go back home and find a horse and start showing. We've been involved with the YETA group. We have a YETA show at our Color Breed Congress in November. That's really kind of helped kick our youth program up, because a lot of those kids come and show there and then, decide they're going to lease we have a great lease program where they can lease a horse to come back and show. So we try to make it open for everyone. Then also at the World Show, we have an ice cream social for everyone. Then the middle weekend, we have basically a chuck wagon cookout. We feed everyone. We have a band the second Saturday, right? Second weekend, Saturday night at the World Show. So we have a big party for everyone. And then also this year, we're starting, our foundation is starting, we hope it works out good. That weekend, we're having a cornhole tournament for all the moms, and we're not doing a golf tournament, we're doing a cornhole tournament. So we're going to have a lot of family activities and get things. So you ladies are free to come in, we'll enter you in the cornhole contest.
There you go. That sounds like a good activity for horse show dads too.
Yes.
We're looking for a place to go, so they can go throw a beanbag somewhere,
There you go. I like that. That's a great idea. Everybody loves cornhole. You're like, who
Mhm.
doesn't? Who doesn't like doing that?
Besides the 700 and some classes Kim's got put together.
There is some little bit of time for some free time and some fun.
Right.
Yeah. So what makes the Pinto World Championship different from other horse shows going on in the industry right now?
Well, that's a hard question. I mean, we all have classes.
I think it's just the variety that we have.
We have the variety.
Well, the variety and the fact to come to Pinto World, there's no qualification. Like they don't have to go to any local shows and earn a certain number of points or show to a certain number of judges. They just have to get the horse registered, be a member, get their amateur card or youth card, if that applies, and then they can just come.
Yeah, it's a very, like I said a minute ago, very exhibitor friendly, I feel like. And on that note, I saw that you guys have over 700 classes now, the World Show. So what are some of the most exciting or popular classes out of that 700 that maybe people could look forward to?
Kim, that's yours.
Well, this year we've added some miniature driving games classes via driving barrels and poles and stake race with the miniatures in their carts, which I think will be fun and interesting to watch.
They're adorable.
Is that something some of the miniature people do anywhere else, or is that unique to
That's
Pinto?
kind of unique to us because, I show miniatures and AMHR, AMHA is their main group. And no, they don't offer games classes for the minis like on a regular basis. I don't even think it's in their rule book. So I think that's more unique to Pinto to offer that to the miniatures.
That's exciting. So I assume there's like barrels. Is that
actual
one of the
barrel
classes?
Yep.
Probably not poles. That would be tough driving, I imagine. But
They do polls.
they are doing poles.
Now they can only trot the patterns. They're not like full out galloping because per the rules, you can only trot in the cart. So they're just going to be trotting around as fast as they can.
Okay.
The little legs.
Yes.
Mhm. Trotting as fast as they can. And do you guys still do the costume class? Because I remember that from my time at Pinto World Show.
We haven't done it the last couple of years.
Okay. I was like, that was always fun for me to watch in years past. Alrighty. Well, obviously this is a gigantic show. And I think you basically rent out all of what Tulsa has to offer. 700 classes, what we just said. I'm sure your days are very, very early, go very, very late with little sleep. So how do you prepare for an event of the size and scope? And what are some of the challenges you guys face with running the World Show?
My biggest challenge is finding staffing that can get away, and work for 2 or 3 weeks. Because a lot of our staff does have other jobs that we hire for the World Show and the Congress. But, we hire close to 100 people for those 3 weeks. So it takes a little bit of coordination to get everybody together.
How many arenas do you typically have going on at one time?
We have 3 arenas going at one time. So to coordinate between those 3 where you're not going to be holding in one for a horse that's in the other one. And my back gate people do an excellent job of helping to coordinate all that.
We got crews that's going basically 24 hours a day, setting up practice trail, tearing trail down. So there's something happening 24 hours a day at the horse show. The other thing that's really exploding for us is our walk trot classes. I think, Kim, you've added some more walk trot this year. Did you add walk trot ranch?
Yeah, we added youth walk trot and amateur walk trot ranch classes, as well as we've added some novice solid classes for our youth and amateurs as well this year. Some new things for us.
On the subject of the walk trot, then, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me, but you have walk trot divisions for almost everything, like as far as solids, youth, amateur, and then your amateur age divisions. Is that correct? And then you also offer those, or most of those, for even like solid horses. And now it sounds like ranch horses. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So there's really a division for everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you are a new walk trot person, an experienced walk trot person, have a solid horse, have a color horse, have a ranch horse, there's probably a division for you there at the World Show, which is really cool because most of those people don't have an opportunity to show at a World Show level like that. So for maybe each one of you kind of individually, do you have a standout moment or a memorable experience from a previous Pinto World Show you can tell us about?
I can tell you the reason we don't have the costume class anymore.
Uh-oh.
It does flash back.
Kim's husband, Charlie, who has been our arena directors ever since I've been with Pinto, and Charlie and I are like brothers. A horse got away and had major wrecks, and Charlie steps in. And we was worried about Charlie when the wreck was all over with because he was on the bottom of the stack. But
no.
That's a scene that I never want to witness again. And that's the reason we don't do the costume class. I don't know. The horse got scared of something they was dragging, and we had more than one horse in the mix, and Charlie jumped right in the middle of the fight and I don't know how many horses he had wrapped around each arm, but he got them all gathered up and got to stop. And so we got them all entangled. But that was a scary, scary deal. And I've managed, when I was judging, I managed the Paint World and the App World and the App Nationals and the Palomino World and the NSBA World and the Pinto National back then. And I think that's the worst wreck I've ever seen at a horse show. That was even worse than a horse getting tied up in a buggy and losing someone out of the cart. And I've been there too.
Oh boy. Yeah.
That's
I'm
scary. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm glad I didn't know that. And I'm glad I probably didn't see that, but I'm sorry to hear that.
It's just basically safety. We're family. We want to protect the exhibitors, the horse, everyone. So, safety's first. So that's the reason we decided it's a lot of fun to watch and stuff, but the safety is the main thing. So, but that still sticks in my mind. So
We had an earthquake one night. It was probably 8 or 9 o'clock, but we had a 2-year-old Western Pleasure in the arena, and you could tell the horses felt the earthquake before everyone else did, but the whole building shook. So something that I remember.
I remember that night too. We thought the livestock arena was going to fall in on us, for about 30 seconds.
Oh, goodness.
No, of all classes to have in the arena at the time of an earthquake.
2-year-olds.
Yeah.
They went across the arena faster than he's going around the arena. They scattered.
And it's early, for a 2-year-old too. So that's tough.
I think mine was the tornado night. It was pitch black out. It was 9-10 o'clock at night already. And there was a tornado actually coming in Tulsa, coming over the fairgrounds. Luckily it lifted up and it went over us. So there was no actual touchdown, but I was on the mic telling people to get to shelter on the loudspeaker or across the grounds, like go to the bathrooms, which are concrete, and anyone who was out riding, practicing, like quit, get in the arena. I mean, there's those moments, those standout moments, but then also there's those, like, we get pretty close in the office because we're just hanging out together and they're almost 12, 14-hour days. So it's also just those bonding moments as well with your fellow office crew and dealing with the problems and the fun stuff that comes through every day.
And Jenna, will this be your first World Show or were you there last summer?
So last summer was my first World Show, and I definitely don't have any stories like they just said. But
Thank goodness.
Yeah, exactly. But one thing that comes to mind for me is my birthday falls during the World Show. And last year, my interns really tried to make that day special for me. And we also had a lot of fun doing all of our photography. So we do like the candid shots going around each of the arenas, and we had a lot of fun that day. And then my family got to come up because I am originally from Tulsa. So I just got to remember that day as being special. So yeah, that's my memory.
I love
Jenna
that.
started a week before the World Show started.
I did.
Trial by fire on that one. If you make it through, you'll be fine.
That's what Darrel told me.
That's what I said. I said, if you're with us when this is over, you'll make it, you know.
Yeah, I believe that. Alrighty. So for somebody that may be attending their first ever Pinto World Championship Show, what advice do you have for them?
Don't be afraid to ask questions. Our office staff and stall staff and, everyone around is all friendly and more than willing to answer questions and help anyone out that's not been there before, or even if you have,
It's very hot and humid
Yeah.
in Oklahoma in June. I don't think a lot of, especially our northerners, aren't usually, especially the first time, aren't quite prepared for the heat. So it's like always have fans, bring water, and always tell someone if you're not feeling well, because we've had more than enough people go down because of the heat.
We got a paramedic on the ground all the time too. So we try to make sure we got everything covered.
Mm-hmm. I can vouch for that. I'm in Kansas, so it's not too far away from here, but it seems like you get like maybe one-ish nice day or something in the Pinto, and then it rains, and then it's humid, and it'll be like upper 90s the rest of the show or something. It's just, and no wind. There's never any wind there.
We get rain every other day.
Yeah. You get all the rain and no wind, which is opposite from what we have here. So yeah, the humidity is a whole nother factor. All right. What are each one of you kind of excited about for this year?
I'm excited. I mean, like I said, for Jenna's Youth Weekend, I'm pretty excited about that. Seeing what we get with the young kids and getting more people involved in Pinto. I'm excited about all the new walk trot classes, the solid divisions, seeing there. Also in our solid division, we register Appaloosa. So we put the colored Appaloosa in our solid division. So excited about to see how many colored Appaloosas we have in the solid division. And our colored division is exploding too. So just, the numbers look great. Excited to see everyone, make some new friends, see some old friends. Kim's got a great set of judges put together. Being an old horse show judge for 30 years is getting to visit with some of those people in the judge's room and kind of watch them judge, and then, be the armchair judge standing up in the stand watching and seeing how stupid I am because I'm not down the middle of the pen, But we got a lot of excitement going on. So just seeing everyone come to town and have a great time, Maybe go throw some cornhole tournaments and see if we can win there,
That's exciting for this new year. So is the colored Appaloosa, is that brand new this year over previous years?
We've had that for about a couple of years now, at least. But it's just to get around the bylaws, basically, of the color registry, specifically for Overos and Tobianos. So that's how we were able to get the colored Appaloosa or characteristic Appaloosa in, is that they'll go into the solid registry. So they can still come and show.
Our colored registry states, our bylaws is that we cannot register anything in the colored registry that shows Appaloosa characteristics. So that was kind of one of the things to start the solid registry, so we could go around and pick up a lot of the solid horses, a lot of colored Appaloosa horses, because a lot of those horses are looking for a place to come and show, and it's paying off for us at the weekend horse shows too. So we can just do more stuff together.
Things that I think is exciting this year is that we've added some prizes, because along with the new divisions that we've added 8 more saddles this year. So we're going to be giving away 29 different saddles at the end of the show. So that's a lot of new prizes.
And
that's exciting.
1,400 belt buckles. And Emily, you're
how many was 1,400? that what you said?
1,500 belt buckles.
I gotta go through all those buckles.
Our awards bill is way up into the 100,000s.
I think altogether for the whole year, not just World Show, I think my awards budget's like almost $500,000.
$500,000.
Yeah.
So we pride ourselves into, and then also we're excited this year. They've been with us now. The WCHA, the Yellow Rose fraternity. Is this our second year or third year with us, Kim? Third year. So that group comes and there'll be some nice halter horses there with the WCHA. So we're looking forward to that group being part of us. So they'll be there, the middle part in the middle. So they'll bring a lot of nice halter horses. So, and they'll be paying out probably, I'm going to say roughly.
We've got 50,000 added money.
Yeah. So they're going to be paying out about 100,000 in their fraternities at the World Show. So like I said, we're really excited about having WCHA involved with us too.
So before we move on from the World Show stuff, I assume entries and whatnot are probably either closed or getting ready to close at the time of this interview, or it's usually April sometime. Is that right?
April 25th is the deadline, so we still got a couple of weeks.
And so that's a pre-entry deadline. That's just for the lower price. Technically, a person can add a class up until 6 p.m. the day before the actual class runs. It's just after April 25th, then they pay the higher post-date fee.
Okay.
So if you wake up in the morning and decide you want to come to the horse show, load your horse and come. We'll get you entered up.
You can still enter. Yeah, love that. Before we move on from the World Show, Liz, did you have any World Show questions here?
No, I think it sounds super exciting and definitely a bit more inviting than some of the other ones. I'm curious in our next questions, especially from Darrel's perspective on the qualifications to become a judge for your guys' association.
Well, our association, we're like everyone else. I mean, the International Equine Judges Seminar basically put that program together for all the breeds 32, 33 years ago. And that program, and I know I seen the interview you had with Dave and Sandy, which was great. You guys did a great job there. It was formed with the paints, the Appaloosas, the Palominas, the POAs, the AMHA, the miniatures, the Pinto, and IBHA buckskin. That was the original group that started. And then as we went forward, NRHA came in for a while and had some of their seminars with us. The Reigning Cow Horse came in and then they went off on their own. AQHA came in a couple of years and we had that seminar, and then the next day AQHA set up with their seminar. So that seminar was basically designed to try to get for all of us judges like myself, when I had all the cards, that we could stop at one stop and not have to go to so many different seminars. But now we're down to basically the NSBA's part of us, paints, Palominas, Pintos, both buckskin associations, POAs, AMHA, Appaloosas. Trying to think how many. The Canadian Appaloosa comes in every once in a while. The European Western Association, they'll send their judges over probably once every 2 years. So that seminar has been great. I mean, because we have our applicant school right before that, and it used to be part of the CBC, but like Pates have their own applicant school now. NSBA has their own applicant school, but we host the applicant school for the Pinto, Pinto, Palomina, Appaloosas, IBHA, ABRA, and POAs. So like the first 2 days before the international seminar starts, we have a 2-day seminar. It's strictly education only. So the applicants come in, I know our judges, they'll turn in an application and it goes through the committee. The committee gives invitations, and usually, what is it, Kim, 50% basically, that will get an invitation to come to the seminar. Then they go to the seminar and they have to go through, take a rule book test and pass it before they can go any further. And then the first day is having 18 to 20 videos. I mean, anywhere from 6 to 10 to 15 horses per class they have to place, and we score them. And then the next day they go through a interview session with the judges committee. It's about a 30-minute presentation. And then I know in our group, every year there'll be, I think this year there was like 2 rating runs, and they have to basically call out the penalty points and stuff to the judges committee. And I think we had a showmanship. So they just see if they know the penalty points, know how to handle a scoring system. And then they go from there, and we'll usually have probably, I'm gonna say 60% that comes will get their Pinto card. And I think all the other breeds are the same way. They go through the interview sessions, the testing. So, and there's no education to it. And then starting Monday after the seminar is when Dave, Sandy, and all come in, and we have the educational part. And well, I know our carded judges and Paints too. Our carded judges, Kim gives a test, a penalty take test, all of our carded judges once every 3 years, the same way that PtHA does their judges. So Dave does a great job getting all the instructors lined up, and which is a tough job. You know, I used to have to do that, but you know, he does a great job getting them lined up, getting their information put together. So I'll match that seminar against any breeds seminar that's out there right now today. So very, very educational. And it's time we do the applicant school and the seminar, it's basically a weeks long process, you know. So a lot of the judges that's got a lot of different cards, they can come and get them all covered in 1 week, where, you know, they can get the paint card, the buckskin cards, the Palomini cards, the Pinto cards. And we have a lot of judges. I'm going to say what, at least 100 judges, Kim?
Yeah.
100 that are approved in all the different breeds, you know, and get their miniature card covered. So it makes it a lot easier to help keep that, so the judges can kind of control the price of what they have to charge to at least pay for the seminars every year, you know. So, and they have to come once every 3 years. So, but I'd love to have you guys come and join us in January. We did it at Tulsa, basically the last week of January at the Hyatt Regency downtown Tulsa. So, love for you to come and be part of it. You know, listen to Dave Dillon's stories.
And so people, just so they understand, to be eligible to come to this seminar, you have to be a judge, a carded judge or a judge applicant. Is that correct?
Right. Yes. It's not open to the public. You know, I know PtHA has a, basically for wannabe judges seminar. I think they have it just finished it up about a month ago or so. We used to have that, and we dropped out, and Paints picked it back up. So people who wants to be a judge, that's a great place for them to go land is at Dave and Sandy's training session, whatever they call it. But it's a good session over the weekend in Fort Worth.
So do you find most of your judges are then carded in other associations too? And the unique thing I think about Pinto is that you do have, you know, some Morgan, Saddlebreds, Arabians. So do they participate in any of this?
Yes, we have a lot of Arabian judges, Saddlebred judges, miniature judges. We're pretty well cross-carded with everyone, you know, and you'll be surprised how many judges have their color breed cards that's got an Arabian card or a miniature card. So a lot of those judges are carrying 5 and 6, 7 cards, you know. So, and I know Stan Moy with the Arabians, he'll come and help us as an instructor, because in our Pinto session, we'll talk about some different pleasure type classes. You know, the regular seminar is basically all stock. So when we get into ours, we'll touch on the pleasure and the minis, and the minis are there, so they can go to the mini seminar. So basically all the different types are touched on. You know.
Awesome. What about current trends in the horse industry and how the Pinto Horse Association is monitoring or responding to some of these trends?
That's a big issue right now. You know,
simple question, right?
The show horse world is a trendy business. You know, I think we pretty well try to stay away from the trend. You know, we educate our judges to find the best horse in their opinion, and we go from there, and, you know, make sure we're not abusing him, and, you know, taking good care of him. And, you know, we want the happy horse to win, you know, and forget trends. You know, we all have rule books, read the rules, how we ask you to show your horse, and forget the trends. You know, just because a purple shirt won yesterday, that doesn't mean the purple shirt's going to win today, you know. So we all have rule books, and we all have standards the way we want our horses judged. So, you know, the judges read it before they go in the pen. I'd advise all the exhibitors to read what we're looking for, you know. And I know we have show stewards at the World Show, and I think are probably some of the best show stewards that watch the warm-up pens and watch everything. And we have some great horsemen that do that. You know, Billy Steele, who was with AQHA forever, is one of our show stewards. Mike Baker is one. John Latham. So we've got some great horsemen that are show stewards that are our horse show, and, you know, they do a great job, and, you know, keep it fair for everyone, you know. And our equipment judges at the back, you know, we got a great set of equipment judges that make sure all the equipment's legal going in, and So I'm real proud of our staff where things run, and the horse comes first.
I know when we interviewed Dave and Sandy last, they both said the same thing, like read the rule book, like read your rule books, know exactly what's in them and kind of try to adhere to that. And I think we all try to second guess too much.
What we pride ourselves on is that, if you're a stock horse judge and you get stuck in the pleasure type pen, read the rules, make sure you know the rules, how an Arab pleasure horse goes compared to a stock horse pleasure horse. So 2 different way of moving. So just read the rule book, knows the rules. So that's where we're, I guess, blessed or whatever over the other associations, because we got some different many types and different ways that things carry themselves, So, and if you accidentally get in a class that's got a stock horse and a pleasure type horse in it, judge it according to the way it's supposed to go and give it merit. And, if it's better than that stock horse, put it over, in its merit. So it basically stay in the rule book.
How do you see the Pinto horse industry evolving in the next few years, and how is Pinto positioning itself to stay ahead of the curve, if there is a way to do that?
That's a tough question,
Having an open registry.
Yeah, I think in having our registry open, we're open to everyone, And like I said, those geldings out there that somewhere the papers might have got lost along the way and they can't find to go to the quarter horse show or the paint show, we can give them an undocumented set of papers and get him back in the show pen and at least build a show record on him, and they can enjoy their horse and keep going forward with it instead of just basically turning him out in the middle of the pasture and just letting him waste away. So, and it's a good market, getting everyone up out of the open horse show market, getting them involved in the association so we can give them away nice awards and add value to that horse, because, we can win the weekend open horse show and next week everybody forgot who won it. But, with Pinto and having tracking show record and stuff, at the end of the year, we can recognize all the high point in all the different divisions and give them certificates, trophies, buckles, whatever, and basically give them bragging rights to go back home to the coffee shop, So.
Yeah, definitely. Just to echo what Darrel just said. So if you would perhaps maybe have a grade gelding you don't have papers on and currently only do open shows or fun shows or something with said gelding, then you can actually get Pinto papers on them and even go to the World Show and win trophies.
Load up and show us how tough he is. We just want the best horse to win,
Yeah. Very cool. All righty. Well, along those lines, as we're kind of wrapping up here, what message do you have for anyone who is considering joining the Pinto Horse Association or getting involved with you guys?
Come join us.
Jenna, what do you have on your marketing side to get them involved?
I would say check out our social media. We have an Instagram and Facebook page, and then we also have a YouTube channel as well. So check us out. Our YouTube channel highlights the World Show and then also Congress. So you can see those big shows, what it's about. And you can also get involved as you want, as much as you want.
Do you guys live stream your World Show and the Congress on YouTube?
Yes.
All 3 arenas.
All 3 arenas, and also Better Horse TVs comes and does some production for us at the World Show and the Congress, and it plays on RF TV and the Cowboy Channel and the Cowgirl channels at least twice to 3 times for each event. So we've been doing a lot with Better Horse TVs, and they've been giving us a lot of good information, getting it out to someone. So, we'll everybody come and play with us. And like I said, our YouTube, we have our own YouTube station, so you can go watch some of the activity there. And Lauren will be at the World Show doing nothing but YouTube, interviewing individuals, winners, losers, fun, whatever, so.
And I should have probably asked you guys this in the beginning, but just real briefly, your Color Breed Congress that's in the fall. Do you want to give those dates and just who is eligible there to compete in that show?
Kim's looking for the dates, but
sorry to put you on the spot for that. I think it's, like November or something.
That show, we're real proud of it. We have a full-blown Palomino show, a ABRA show, an Appaloosa Ranch Horse show, a full-blown Pinto show, a full-blown Open Ranch Horse show, long ear, and then we have the
Yida show.
Yida show So we have the Long Ear Congress, so that'll be a full bore mule and donkey show. And what other shows?
And then just the Pinto show.
And the Pinto show, so. And it'll have another 700 plus classes, you know. So, but you'll get to see the Palominas, the Buckskins, the Appaloosas, the Pintos.
There's no qualifications to enter. Obviously, if you want to enter those specific breed classes, like Palomino, Buckskin, Appy, that horse obviously needs to be registered with those associations already and provide membership cards and whatnot. So it's like 5, almost 6 shows in one. So you can get multiple points with multiple associations. I mean, if you have a horse that can do that, that has all those association papers.
And you just have to be a member of whatever association you come and show for. You don't have to be a Pinto member. If you're a Palomino member, you can come and show in the Palomino show or the Buckskin and the Buckskin show.
Okay. So even if you don't have Pinto papers on your horse, maybe you could go show in the Palomino show if you do
Show
have
the Palomino
Palominos.
show or the Buckskin show, whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
So the dates are November the 4th through the 11th.
There we go. November the 4th through the 11th. That's a fun show for everybody to plan on if you're not already planning on going to Tulsa for the World Show. So, well, that's all the questions I had. Liz, you got anything else for us today?
No, super great conversation. I think there's a lot to say about being inclusive to all kinds in our industry. So you guys have done a wonderful job. And I think that shows very well. I definitely need to take a trip out to Tulsa. It sounds like hopefully like no tornadoes or earthquakes, because that would be my luck, you know. But yeah, definitely a visit. I need to come out there, check it out.
I think you get to see Emily and Jenna. You from Ohio?
We're going to the All-American Youth Horse Show next month. We're going to set up a booth and register horses. So we'll be in Columbus.
Oh, perfect. I was actually going to see about being a vendor there, but I just never made it in time and they cut it off. So I'll just have to come up and visit.
Come up and visit. Set up at the Pinto booth and interview people.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. There you
Jenna,
go,
you'll
Liz.
have to come out too.
Looks like I got to go to Ohio too. Love that. All righty, guys. Thank you all for your time today. It's been very nice to chat with you, and I can't express more like how, enjoyable and fun the Pinto World Show is. And I know the Color Ring Congress. And if anybody has any questions for you guys or how to register their horse or buy a membership, the website, I'm sure, has everything listed. Otherwise, is there any other contact information you want to provide?
They can always call us. I mean, our website's pinto.org, super easy, pinto.org. Our phone number is on there. And then there's also an individual staff list anyone can look at to email specific people for specific questions. But our office line's always open and you can get transferred to the person that you need to talk to.
Perfect. Thank you all again for your time. We appreciate you and have a great rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, Jackson.
All right, that'll be your class. Bring them in and line them up.